Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lethal Sales. Tonight's topic is training for technology integration. Another way of saying you can lead a horse to water, but who's going to train him to drink? And we're going to do something different. Let's start with Peter.
Hey, well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Tonight is the technology show where it's kind of slants towards me more than Larry because Larry's still on his rotary phone. Having said that, we have some great guys on here that really push the envelope and can talk us through everything that is coming forth in the industry and how to train our people. So having said that, I'll lend it to Larry, and Larry can introduce the people as we go.
Well, I kind of missed your intro, Peter. I was on the phone with Ben Hadley and Elon Musk helping them with some technical problems. Luckily, I've got that all resolved now. Listen, we're interested, and everything's been interesting these past few years, pandemic after pandemic. But I just think everything's so circular now that everybody's getting so interested and obsessed with AI and this form of technology. And man, if I'm the last guy screaming it, I think all that's useless without personality and energy and looking people in the eye and smiling and actually listening. So let's jump right in. We got an unbelievably good group of people here tonight. And I'll tell you what, Kelly has missed a bunch of shows. How about if we start with Kelly, get her tremendous perspective, and then we'll maybe jump to my buddy Jeff Scherer.
Just before you jump in, Kelly, I want to say your commentary today on the call about CDPs and everything else was brilliant. So feel free to share that knowledge as well.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm sorry that I have been missing out recently. It's been a little crazy, but it's nice to get my feet back under me and hit the ground running. I really like the idea of talking about, where are we with technology? What do we need to do? And where are we missing the boat? And how do we get people to come along? I have done nothing but that, it feels like, for the last 2 weeks. I just had a meeting with a dealer and a partner vendor about a digital retailing tool. And I can't tell you how disheartening it was to reach out to that partner and say, hey, this is something that they're noting as a problem. Is that something you guys can work around with? Also, these other issues. And they're like, oh yeah, let's get together and let's have a meeting and do that. And we finally get the client on the phone after 2 or 3 delayed conversations and having conversations with the salesperson and his boss there at the vendor partner. And we get the client on the phone and they're like, yeah, we're just not really ready for that. It's not something we're going to implement in the store. All of the in-store leads, every single one of those was a test. Probably most of those that you're seeing on the website were tests. Are you actually looking at the information, or are you making sure they're valid? I don't think it's working. I don't think it's useful, but yet it is every single CTA on their SRP and VDP. And that partner has not provided any information as to what we can use to put into GA4 to track those conversions. So that client, I'm actually trying to rescue the deal because they put in to cancel with us because they say they're not getting any leads. And I don't think it's an us broken problem. I think it's a us problem because there's somebody else that's not pulling their weight.
Hey, Kelly, would you agree with what is happening with Toyota coming out and saying, okay, we're going to stop the madness on people's websites and we're going to make it more sane for the client's journey? So we as dealers, and I'm saying we as dealers, I'm not a dealer, but I represent dealers. We as dealers can understand where our clients' pathways are and what their information they want, and stop the bounce rates and everything else. It was
seen
pretty
as much
phenomenal.
of the Toyota stuff as I have with the changes that Kia's putting in place. But I can definitely understand the need to simplify the route that's being taken. Especially as I sit here behind the curtain now and see just how many things not only don't work together, but even the things that should be working together aren't getting communicated so that the dealer can have a holistic view. This morning, we had the conversation about leads, and did you want to get those out of a DMS? I'm sorry, out of a CRM, or did you want to track that through Google? In the past, everything fired in Google and you just kind of said, yeah, I think that's a conversion, and you like run a report for it. Now, even if things are kind of pointed at Google, until you go in and make an event, make parameters, and set everything up, it's not really tracking in any way that you can really pull that into a report the ways that you used to be able to in the universal analytics. So I think that has really become a problem for dealers, thinking that they're getting all of their numbers, because they always have, from Google, and they're not there.
Hey, Kelly, that's a problem that goes back to Henry Ford saying you can have any color you want as long as it's black. If you can't measure something, you can't understand it, you can't fix it, you can't change it, you can't accelerate or de-accelerate it. And yet it's amazing how many dealers are ignorant of what's really going on at their dealership. A little scary.
Absolutely.
100%. And that's why I pointed that out this morning, that look at your CRM and look at Google at GA4 and see where there are holes, so that you can get a hold of those vendors and get that information in. Does that need to be a top level thing? No, but it needs to be a directive from the top level so it gets done.
Well,
Can I ask a question, Kel? Just 1 second, Pete. I had a thought. Without, I don't need the name of the dealer, but what state is the dealer in? Can you tell me that?
Confusion.
Yeah, that goes without saying. What state are they in, Kelly? Did we lose Kelly?
no,
Nope.
she's thinking.
I'm thinking about which that dealer was in Ohio. I was gonna say Jersey because I've had the same issue. So one is in Jersey, one is in Ohio.
Well, Ohio is a weird state, along with Virginia. It's illegal, crazy as this sounds, to write a referral check or a bird dog, if you will. Because I was going to opine that if you're in a state that allows you to write a referral check, and it's going to sound a little silly, who even needs leads? Everybody knows 5,000 people. You know, everybody, your mother knows, your father knows. And what an incentive $100 is, or 200, or whatever the dealership pays. And what a great reason to call somebody and say, hey, call me, man. Text them. I might have 100 for you. What's the 100 for? Everybody loves you, Joe. Who do you know that needs a vehicle? Ohio gets a little bit of a mulligan with Virginia because you can't offer that incentive, which just means you have to be even more mindful of tremendous service, because that's the only reward you can give them. You know, maybe you sneak a tank of gas without getting busted.
So two things here. I agree with you 100%. And I hate using this term, the ignorance of the dealerships and the stakeholders not knowing what's going on around them, because they are pulled so thinly across the whole spectrum of their operations. They cannot become experts in every level. And one of my colleagues that's not on the show but on another show has said many times, hire an expert. You cannot be an expert in everything. If you feel that you're lacking, hire an outside vendor. And that's it, because right now you couldn't teach me enough about GA4 to even get me ramped up to understand it. I was just coming alive on Google Analytics. Now we got GA4. So I'm stepped back probably another 3 years. So would I hire someone like George Nemi? Absolutely, because he's the best. And when it comes down to actual finding intelligence, well, Jeff Scherer has got a platform that will help anybody in the dealership space understand training, liabilities, sales, every single thing that ever could be possibly presented in a dealership. His platform solves those issues. And I'd like to yield the floor to, or the screen to, my good buddy Jeff.
Thanks. I love technology for anybody that doesn't know me, but a couple things. Technology is too closely associated with complexity, and GA4 is the best example, and most of the dealers, I don't think even have their foot in the door, let alone their arms around it. And you know what? Another year and a half, Google's going to shuffle the deck again and come out.
Hey, Jeff, and if their hands weren't full enough with what you're talking about, now they got new FTC regulations to be worried about.
And Mike or Klein's not on here, Tom Klein, but yeah, that's a whole nother topic for one evening, because man, that's not
Compliance
even
nightmare.
Yeah. So I always say the best technology should be invisible, right? When you think about buying something on Amazon, I know, and because my wife worked in the warehouse here in Denver for it last Christmas, and but the complexity of what happens when you make 1 or 2 clicks to buy something is enormous, and as the end user, I don't really care. And the dealers don't really care. And Peter and I say this all the time. No dealer has taken their consumer path. They're not calling their dealership to see how poor their people are on the phone, or that they can't get through to the service department, and that their leads are getting unanswered because everybody thinks, everything's tight. Nobody's checking it. But I think, the technology should be to enhance existing processes and find efficiencies in stuff that's not working, and let me worry about technology as a vendor, because I love it. I love complexity, and I try to make it simple. If you go to google.com, for years, ever since they came out, people have fought tooth and nail to put ads on the google.com homepage, and they kept it so simple. And that's really where they plant their flag. They do a ton of heavy lifting, as Kelly just said, with the back end and stuff too. And it's amazing what they do, just like Amazon. But, we're just like our pets, man. We're subject to them. Right, Peter?
Exactly. So just give you it, as Jeff just said, technology should be simple. And I'm gonna push this down to good old John in the bottom here, because both John and I have had the pleasures of owning Teslas, and in the technology that's in a Tesla it's like Apple. It is so user friendly that it operates in the background without us even knowing, and it improves our lives every day. It knows when we have to re-energize the car. It knows everything based on all our driving, and tells us. That's one of the best things about technology in the dealership. We're at the point where we're migrating all these different platforms into a single platform, through CDPs, through all the omni-channel situations, and it's going to make our lives that much better. As Stephen Greenfield said, the dealership's going to change more in the next 5 years than it did in the first 100. So
Hey,
to that,
Peter.
I yield to John.
Well, wait, you talking about John Ellis?
Yeah.
Yeah, John, anybody that doesn't know, John is a BEV. I'm proud to be a part of that with him. We were going to have Duran Cage on this call, but unfortunately he electrocuted himself. I think his last earthly words were, "That freaking electric," and he pointed at John. It was very ugly. John, I know you didn't have time to do a memorial service, but now try to sound serious, Ellis.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, thank you for that. And I'll concur. Peter, you and I go back and forth on our social sites, business sites too. We love our cars, and Tesla does make it stupid easy. The software updates happen at night. You get in the car in the morning, something new, right? Sometimes it'll make a different sound, but your GPS, there'll be more features in the experience center. It's fun, and it doesn't require any effort on our part. And that's what we want to do with automotive dealers. Cox Automotive, which I don't work for them anymore, team. I don't know if you know that. I'll branched out in September. I'm on my own. We can talk about that in a minute in case we can help each other. But Cox Automotive just rebranded. I think everybody saw that, and that was for a singular purpose. It was to bring all the P&Ls together. I've been with them for almost 20 years, so the P&L was our biggest problem. Every time we'd acquire, we'd have different cooks in the kitchen, right? And we couldn't get along because our P&L was more important than their P&L, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it also did a very good thing in the industry's image of who they are, because it brought them into categories instead of products. So this is your area of the business, and this is the suite of solutions that solve that area, not the name of each of those solutions individually. They'd catch some individual brands because you can't get rid of Auto Trader. I'm sorry, it's got its own namesake. But other than that, to your point, omni-channel, single solutions, single sign-on, it's our job as vendor partners to make the dealer. Okay, so I'll put it to you this way. The chief marketing officer, Asbury, said something to me one time, and it was so profound. And he was talking about his customer, but think about this when we're talking about our customer. My job at Asbury is not to make it easy on us, is to make it easy on my people.
That's
So
right.
I'm not asking you, Cox Automotive. We brought them into a big room, big executives everywhere. Everybody was salivating to talk to everybody. And he said, and this young fellow, Moran Merrick, I mean, he's 10 years younger than me, chief marketing officer. And you talk about GA4, Moran could cite the book, right? I mean, he's that smart. And he said that, and it was so profound, and everybody just looked, because we were in there trying to make it easy on him. He said, I want you to make it easy on me. Obviously, I want it to be easier, but I want you to help me make it easy on them. And we have to think that third box customer, and we have to think of the same thing. As a vendor partner, our job is to help dealers make it easy on the customer. Now, our dealers are demanding we make it easy on them. And so I'm in complete alignment with all that. GA4 is a mess. And like Jeff said, they'll change in 2 years. They do that for a reason, to keep us off balance. But what are you going to do? We have to live with what we have in there. But yeah, that's how I feel. Larry, I'll be glad to talk about. Let me just give a shout out to BEV, because Larry's been with us from the very beginning. I'm so grateful to have Larry on our team. We just won Carter Myers Automotive Group's EV Consulting annual contract, first time ever. It's a new business for us. We've done consulting before, but we've done a good enough job where they wanted to contract us for a year exclusively. We're talking to Cochran right now. We're super excited. Larry's helped us with that. Who he is as a person, but also as an industry leader, has been amazing. I want to thank you, Larry, for just having your name and
John, you've got it. I love you. And before we jump to Tony T, I guess I might as well make the grand announcement, since John let the cat out of the bag. I will be taking over for John as the analysis for Cox. So what you're generally going to hear every week is business is great. Let's get some pizza. It'll be a much shorter report.
A better one, right? All positive.
Tony
I will say
T,
this,
let's go, baby.
Hey, y'all want? I'm writing my report right now. Y'all want some good news?
Yeah.
For 2024? All right, here it is. Listen, gear up. Tell your dealers, be ready. Look, I had Liza tell me 3 weeks ago. I told her that I was speculating on this. She told me I was full of baloney. The feds just came out today and said, yes, we will cut rates in 2024 unless something drastic happens. I've been saying that for a month, because I've been watching wage growth taper. The labor market tightening is starting to soften. Unemployment's at 3.9, expected to finish at 3.8, expected to finish at 3.9. That's a point higher than they thought. 4.1 and 4.2 in Q2.
Way too weighty with the analysis. It's an election year.
All,
Need I say more? Tony
exactly.
T.
But think about 2024.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, Larry. It's an election year.
See how
Gas
much
prices are
quicker
going down. The
Tony, see how
economy's
much
getting
quicker my
better.
Hey,
analysis.
Rates are
y'all
going
cut
down.
John off. Y'all cut John off. Let him finish.
You have to tell them why.
All
John, I'm
roses,
sorry
no
Tony
thorns.
was rude. I would never cut you off.
You're always rude. But if you're going to sit in front of a dealer and say, stock up for tax season, he's going to say, bull crap. It's been bad last year and it's been bad the year before. But do y'all know that the standard deductions changed by $5,000? And that the brackets have changed? The brackets have changed too. So there's two reasons why the checks are going to be better than people think. That's a nice little shot in the arm. Not huge, but then what do they always say? Well, the second half's going to be crap, right? You're going to be in trouble, John. Not if the Feds cut rates by 100 to 275 basis points. So if you pay attention, you could have the best year you've had since 2020 next year. And that's the good news I wanted to tell you.
That's
And
great.
if
Couldn't
that's
agree
not
more.
true, Russell, everybody on the show will get their money back they paid to be on. Tony T, let's go, baby. And then we'll get to my
Tony,
man
look at-
Russell.
Thank you, Larry. I got to jump real quick. I'm into my small group
Tell
here
us,
in
tell
4
us real
minutes.
quick an update on
Hey.
the automotive partners.
So the
Yes.
Automotive Partners Association, the APA, started on Clubhouse, and we're building it up. We've got a Friday morning at 7 Central. You're all invited to come. The Automotive Partners Association is set up so that vendor partners, like most of the folks on this call, can get together. We can share best practices. We can talk about how we can help our clients and how we can serve our industry better. So we invite you there on Friday morning, 7 Central in Clubhouse. If you get pinged into the room, be sure and join us. And we are standing up a website for a directory of partners. So
Boom.
you are welcome to get involved with that and get logged in, so that our clients, our dealers, can find the best partners, and we as vendor partners can build relationships. So when you walk into that store and they say, "Do you know anybody that builds websites?" you can confidently say, "Yes, I do," and point that dealer in the right direction to get the help they need. So the APA, I just want to give that quick promotion, and now I got a jet. Thanks, Larry.
Stay
Love you,
healthy.
Johnny, man. Take care, brother.
Take care, Tony.
How about if we dial into Russell and my boy Mike Larkin? Russ, what do you got on your mind, my buddy?
Man, listen. I'm running on fumes right now. I've been in this seat since 4:30 this morning. And all day long. I got to tell you though, had some great meetings today. One of them with Dynatron, phenomenal, Kevin, and the other with Joe Camarada with Penske, went extremely well. Other than that, technology is wonderful. Technology to accelerate momentum that a dealership has is phenomenal. Technology to create something that they don't have is a freaking disaster waiting to happen. I firmly believe that things are changing, as Peter mentioned, or John, or whoever mentioned it. You know, I got that from Glenn Lundy last year. You know, in the next 5 years, things are going to be, people can't even keep up with it. It's evolving so fast. Okay. I listened to Kelly early on and in other rooms that we seem to bump into each other in. And I believe that I like to consider myself a vendor partner because it's about service. But I got to tell you, the reason we created what we did is just to make it stupid simple for dealerships, and it has remarkable results. But I got to tell you, if it's having meetings with dealers, and we do a great job of it. But man, I mean, they don't know what the hell they're doing. I can't say that because I was in that space for 16 years. But listen, when it comes to the fixed op side, particularly when it comes to marketing and technology, look, they just want to make things better. Okay, they want to stop the bleeding and retention. They want to handle the technician and advisor challenges and all the meetings and all the other vendors, and that's why we do a lot of the heavy lifting. But I'll tell you, sometimes, you know, other people in the dealership or the corporation get involved, and it takes on a whole new definition, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse, because it's like, I know everybody's wearing multiple hats. Everybody's busy. Okay. But I find, this is my personal experience, I don't know if it's actually holds true in every area, but the busier somebody is, if you get their attention, they're going to find time to listen to you and take your advice. The ones that aren't busy, they just don't have any time. They don't know how to manage. They're being reactive instead of proactive. And I like to pride myself on being as proactive as possible. And I love the dealership space. I'm going to be in it probably till the day I die. And the ride that we're in for right now is mind-boggling with AI and what it represents, and all the machine, just all this. You know, I can't even keep up with what Mike Larkin is doing. This guy is like, he's I don't even know. I don't even know, but I do know this. In order for me to have a different tomorrow, which is what I love about all of you and all the different rooms we bump into each other at, there's only 3 things that are going to change tomorrow, right? Because we're a product of everything we've ever seen, heard, read, and done. who you associate with, what you read and what you listen to. So I know if we spend a few minutes a day reading and looking into what's up and coming in a year, even if we spend 15 minutes a day, it's 96 hours a year. We're going to be in the top 5% of anybody in the world that knows about artificial intelligence. So, and I don't know jack diddly, but I keep learning and looking and experimenting. And hell, part of my company is AI, 2 different types, right? Because I hear a lot of AI out there, and it's not AI. It's automated intelligence through code. It's not artificial intelligence. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I
Hey,
really
Russ,
appreciate each and every one.
you know what kind of blows my mind a little bit?
Yeah.
You sell somebody a car. I mean, unless they're a billionaire or NBA ball player, they're probably not going to buy a car in the next couple months. But when you consider how many opportunities you have with service to churn the money, the percentage of profits you can make,
That's
the
right.
fact that you keep the person in the market so you have a better chance of selling them, you would think at some point dealers would say, maybe I need to pay a little more attention to this.
Yeah, I want to say something about that for let Mike have it, if I may. There's a huge paradigm shift taking place. Most people are aware of it, like us in rooms like this and other venues that we happen to cross paths in. But things are changing rapidly so much for fixed operations. Everybody's starting to get it. It's not the redheaded stepchild anymore. It is going to be the #1 revenue generator, probably in the dealership, because of transparency, pricing, video MPI, how you act and interact with them, with artificial as far as, parts distribution. I mean, the merchant, there's just so much great stuff that's happening. Pick up and drop off, mobile stuff. It works in some places and does in other. We know Ed Roberts has got that figured out, great guy. But I mean, I'm so excited about where the future's going, and I'm on the threshold of that for this wave, and I think all of you probably believe that as well. Anyway, I'm excited about it. Obviously,
we've got my friend Diane is on. We've got our buddy from Brazil, William Santos. But let's jump to Mike Larkin, and then we'll hear from William or Diane, whoever wants to go first. It's great to see, and of course, my man Harry Wilner's on now. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, guys.
Elucidate and illuminate.
Yeah. I'm literally blown away by what's going on. I mean, every single week we're discovering new AI. And we're focused on how to help businesses grow that type of AI. You can get on ChatGPT 4 right now and do an AI coloring book. I'm like, what? You can get on ChatGPT. Some company
but wait a minute, Mike. An AI coloring book thing can't color outside the lines the way me and Russell Hill do. Keep that in mind.
Amen. But just today we had a flash launch. I mean, I wasn't ready for it. We're taking 30-second videos, commercials, and doing it through AI. So now I can hand over to Larry my AI kind of copy your voice, and it's Larry's voice on the commercial. I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
How frightening is it that you guys are going to hear more of me instead of less of me? Look, it's no wonder Diane has to jump so quick.
So with that, I wanted to ask Jeff.
Hey, Mike, do me a favor. Hold. I want to hear your input is priceless, but Diane never shows up. She's in the witness protection program, and here she is. Diane, do you have a comment to make?
No, I just wanted to say hi and drop in and support. And oh my God, it's so hot here. I'm running out to dinner. I've got a 5 p.m. dinner across town. But I wanted to say hello to everybody.
Well, hello.
It was very nice to see
jump
you.
out.
We will not reveal your identity or where you're heading.
Or where you're at.
I'm literally running out the door as we speak. But
it's 34 degrees. Thanks for the update on the weather.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have led with that. I apologize.
Diane, it was great to see you. Thanks for
I'm
popping
glad you're
in.
awake.
Oh my gosh. Still, no, girl. We'll talk about that later. All right. Bye. See you guys.
Stay healthy.
Take
Michael,
care.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to get Diane a cameo in. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Hey, and Jeff, I had a question and it was put to me on the human side of AI. the room that you missed again today. So, but they were asking about, somebody makes a call and they get on to elevator music. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that.
Yeah.
And when that person is fed up and they leave, can your system put a pixel on that person, on their cell phone or whatever, to get them retargeted and apologize that they had to wait or something like that, and to get them back?
That'd be powerful.
Very.
Like, wow.
Hey,
Jeff?
you're on mute, man.
Yeah, I don't want to knock down your tech specifications, but you don't know how to handle the mute button. Where'd you find this guy, Larkin?
I just extolled some great stuff too. Technically, no, because the system AI, I mean, yeah,
Right
could I
now.
build a model that would know that it's, music on hold? Sure. But for the most part, if a system went through the soft phone in my platform, yeah, we can detect a lot of stuff and know people hung up and sound the bells and set the flares off. But most call tracking systems won't know the difference organically. Let me just say that much. So probably with a guy like me, you and I could figure it out. But out of the box, I don't think that it's
Yeah, and then there's also compliance issues on that, state to state. I'm sure that you can't retarget everybody that lands on your website these days. Certain kind of, you got to be careful on what kind of compliance is out there, that you're compliant with everything.
Yeah,
And
so I don't, to answer your
varies.
question more fully, I don't think you could like drop a pixel on them.
Mhm.
But if you could identify that this guy was on hold for 3 minutes and then hung up without any input from the agent side.
Right.
Yes.
Nice.
Really? That's cool.
So
Hey, we've got our
here's
buddy
a really unique thing about Jeff's system. Jeff's system, you can basically ask it anything you wish, and it's listening to every single call, scraping that information from transcribing it, and then scraping that information and then ascertaining what level it necessarily needs to be presented to the stakeholders at. So, for example, and I gave this example is for marketing. I want to know in the last 90 days who talked about football on a telephone call from any one of our clients. It'll be able to tell me. So the football playoffs are coming up. We want to have tailgate parties at the dealership. Great. Okay. I want to know who on a phone call, incoming or outgoing, didn't talk about tires. And I can tell exactly who that is. I don't have to listen to a single phone call. It will tell me exactly who it is.
So where does that information go? Is it
it goes into a database that you just basically ask it questions. So if I was going to you, Russell, and I said, hey, Russell, what are your 3 biggest pain points in your dealership? And you said, well, I'm not getting enough alignments, I'm not getting enough tires, and I'm not getting enough brake jobs. Okay, bang, it'll tell me how many customers called in asking specifically for that information, how many customers were talked about, how many people were quoted, how many people said yes, how many people said no.
Okay, so it looks for patterns, but does it know who those people are to remarket or?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Powerful, man. See,
Yeah.
I just learned something. Thank you.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, when we talk about call tracking, and we have that notorious statement on our phone trees that says this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes, we all know it's just for liability because no one listens to the call. It's
Oh, that's a fact.
It's a backward system because a 3-minute call takes 13 minutes to listen to. So how are you going to listen to every single call? How many people are you going to employ to listen to every single call? Jeff's system does it automatically. It's amazing. So having said that, we can drive it all into this technology space that we understand how we can get better. Like if I know what inventory to have, Jeff's system can tell us. Jeff's system can tell us every single thing that we need to know based on conversational data. And that to me is phenomenal intelligence. That's the intelligence we need for this car industry. I need to know that my guys answered, or my girls answered the phone and said, it's a great day at William Chevrolet. We want you to come in and see us. That's our tagline. I want that out there. I want to know who's saying it and who's not saying it. I also want to know in a BDC department who's asking for an appointment and who's getting a customer request for an appointment. And his system can decipher the difference. So it is absolutely, the intelligence of his system is phenomenal. I wish I was an investor in it at the ground floor. That's how great it is.
Yeah, Jeff, you need to be in the human side of AI next week.
Yeah, we were mostly your buddy Mike Larkin was talking you up because he loves you and he has full faith in you.
Yeah.
All right, jumping off the Jeff bandwagon for 3 seconds, we got my buddy William, and we've got Harry Wilner. I'd love to hear from both of you. William, are you ready to speak? We always love your input, my friend.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I work in the group dealerships responsible for innovation and new technologies, and challenges is enormous. But I want to leave 3 points about application of technologies. First, creation of innovation culture. This is a point. Second, continuous education and training. How these tools can facilitate their work and improve their results. And the last point is leadership by example. Leaders and managers should actively use the technology and demonstrate its value in practice. It's all about this. It's a big challenge, but it's about this.
Hey, William, and if the third part doesn't work, the first 2 don't matter. If leadership doesn't embrace it and lead the way, it's the old thing, do as I say, not as I do. If they embrace it, everything else could work.
Yes.
And if you have any technical questions, William, just call me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I don't speak Spanish, so nobody will know. It'd be perfect.
No, it's okay. It's a very good stay here and listening yours and you and ever here. It's very, very cool. And little I can comprehend and take
No. I got to stop you. You don't have to comprehend anything. You know what is universal in every language? A smile. And boy, do you have a great smile. You look happy. We appreciate your presence here. And man, in case for any reason you don't make it, although you've been a regular, we wish, our whole group here wishes you the healthiest and happiest holidays possible, man. Just keep that smile going. That'll break through every barrier in every language.
Thank you.
Yeah, what Larry said. Well,
Yep. Okay. My buddy Harry Wilner was on. Harry, you still with us?
No, he's gone.
Gone. Spontaneously combusted. It tends to happen to people that hang around with. I think they just self-disintegrate. Hey, we got Fred Thorn on. Fred, how are you, sir? Another guy that can't hit the mute, but I love him anyway. All right, I guess we're back to Jeff Scherer. Fred refuses to unmute.
So leadership is critical, as Willian said. I was on a call today with a produce producer. They're farmers. And it's like, man, we got angry truck drivers that haul our stuff. We got angry employees. And, all the stuff that was talked about, I said, man, I want you to know that, solutions that we bring with technology and stuff isn't all negative. We want to know what's working just as much, right? So we can train people and we can use examples, and I always say, even just if you record calls and, you have a new hire hey, let me go, John, go listen to this phone call and see the best way to handle a question about this XYZ widget on the BMW, right? You've got an example there that you can use over and over again. And, let's collaborate on that. Let's build on the positives too. It's very easy, and we need to take action on the negatives for sure. But, and I know, again, Peter and I have had some deep discussions. Let's handle it the right way. Let's do it in a supportive fashion.
Do you know what happens, Jeff? And in my humble non-tech opinion, it's one of these solutions that leads to a perception problem, not a reality problem, but a perception problem. Because technology has made all our lives so much easier and so much quicker that when things are slow, we lose our minds. I mean, what the hell would we do at this point without cell phones, without computers? How'd you like to have your house have no air conditioning and you live in Arizona like Wendy and Fred? But what happens is we get used to it. It's like if a dealer pays people a bonus, it's the greatest thing on earth. So the next time he does it, and now everybody's mad at him. So I think it sets up new preconceived notions of how quickly things should move. I mean, John Ellis is going to chuckle. Mr. Technical, how crazy do people get when it takes 10 extra seconds for the computer to boot up? Or again, you get stuck in the answering machine hell. But anybody that doesn't understand technology and the things it's done to make our lives easier and better and our work tools better is a fool. My only argument is always we just have to cling to the humanity part of it.
But as our good friend Ben
Wendy,
Hadley says.
Yeah, Wendy, you'll love it. Oh, good. I'm sorry, John. You said something about Ben Hadley.
I was just going to say, as our good friend Ben Hadley will show you, he'll give you a great example of what you just said. He'll go, "Hi, my name is," do that to someone and just pause. The 3 to 4 seconds your website takes to clear, or that it takes for your person to, an auto bot to work on the customer's callback. And then say John Ellis and see how interrupted that is of a communication best practice. It's easy to do. And you don't think about technically the same thing happening that happens in person, but it feels the same way. It's really profound when he does it, much better than I do, but you're right.
You made the point beautifully. It's the same old thing. The technology in our hands is amazing. The technology, when it stands on its own, can be frustrating for normal people. And listen, it doesn't even have to be tech. I'm not being disrespectful. Now, I'm not kidding. Has everybody on this line called somebody because they needed an answer and there was a language barrier? It makes you nuts. So it's just a matter of, we should, by now, in this time in our world, we should be communicating great, and we're communicating more and more in a broken fashion where it's harder and harder to connect things. And Wendy will tell you, because she's in dealerships, Kelly will tell you that the break between the front and the back, between fixed and variable, is nuts. It's nuts.
Oh,
I owned a dealership. I wouldn't think of not having a pizza party where you could, I tell a few jokes, loosen them up and say, now what's really the problem? Well, you guys do this. 10 minutes later, they were laughing and hugging. Because to not understand how symbiotic the relationship is, how we need fixed ops and fixed ops needs us, it's crazy. Wendy, we haven't heard from you or Fred, and we'd love to. What do you have to say?
So forgive me. I'll just piggyback on what you guys were saying, because I completely missed the whole first 45 minutes, and I apologize. Hey, John, it's good to see you in here.
Hey, Wendy, let me fill you in. Let me fill you in, because you're my favorite. Jeff Scherer was candidly admitting that I've come up with all his electronic theories, and he wants to share me in on the copyrights. And I said, no, you just take them. And then Russell Hill bust out laughing, and that's when you showed up. Did I have that right, Russell?
Yeah.
So to John's point about Ben, John, it's so funny. When I do my training with my agents and I want to teach them about tonality, I'll go, hello, my name is Wendy Reeves, and I'm calling from ABC Ford, and I see you're interested in one of our vehicles that you saw on our website. As opposed to, hey, John, it's Wendy at McLeod Auto Sales. How you doing? Great, I'm calling about that 2020 Ford Mustang you saw on our website. Great news for you. And, is the car for yourself or someone else, blah, blah, blah. Totally different. You have 4 seconds for somebody to realize they either do or do not want to speak to you on a call. So the robotic thing is a struggle for sure.
I do think Ben Hadley might be a robot, though.
Well, I was going to make a
Just
joke
saying.
that I was going to say, did he get vaccinated?
Hey, Wen,
So-
it actually, the technology has improved. It's faster than 4 seconds because when Russell and Peter see my name on caller ID, they just don't pick up. So that's no seconds.
So I gotta just jump in on something that John was saying. Ben's number is 26 seconds, and 26 seconds for a load time for the average web page in auto. It's insane.
Yeah, they've already clicked off.
Think of it. A pro bull rider, a ride is 8 seconds. So think of that in the aspect of time. A pro bull rider could ride 3 full rides.
Peter, can I ask a question? Every analogy you have is tied to pain. Hockey players having their teeth knocked out. What the hell's going on in Canada?
We're masochists. So
Oh my God.
now think of that.
Now, wait a minute, you're on with Russell Hill. He'll tell you a sadist is someone who won't hurt a masochist. I'm bringing you back to your old days, Russell.
No, so we gotta understand technology is there to make us more efficient. Technology is there to help us. It's not a hindrance. Like one of the statements on the detail page of this broadcast was most people won't even use a CRM. They'll avoid a CRM. And that is the easiest way to continue a relationship to build lifetime customer value. Carl Sewell said it best. The average sale is worth 30 repeat sales if you do it right. 30 repeat sales. So you have to look at how do we want to control this business. And I'm going to throw this out here because most dealers absolutely go crazy when you say it, is the customer has control. Customer always had control. Customer never relinquishes control. All you're doing is taking them down the journey to assist them in making that decision to attempt at a conversion. That's it. The customer always has their hand on their credit card. You cannot steal the money. You can't do anything like that. You can only lead them down that pathway. So with technology, it's going to help us. It's going to give us that intelligence, like Jeff's systems and Mike's mapping and the BDCs with using CDPs and everything else. It's going to help us. And
if we combine it, Peter, with empathy, if we combine it with the human quality.
Well, it has to have a human component to it. If we don't have the human component, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right on, Wendy.
If it doesn't matter whose platform we're on. I was on Kyle and Paul's webcast this afternoon, and it was repeated probably about 6 times throughout the webcast. People, process, tech. End of story. People always come first. Process is built by the people, and then they develop it into the technology to help all the two in front of it. That's the way it's got to be. People got to understand it, and that's how we're going to grow.
I agree.
So
very good.
Let's go back
like
to
Kelly. Speak up. We got a few more minutes. Anybody
go back to Kelly for a second. Kelly's being quiet.
Hey, Fred.
I'm just listening along. I had a whole bunch to say at the beginning, so I'm good.
Fred,
you can't hear me laughing and nodding along.
We haven't heard from Fred Thorn. Fred's my guy. Fred, what do you got to say, my buddy, as you prepare for the holiday season?
Well, here I was in the kitchen with Wendy. She always has me help her cook, and she don't need me at all. I'm no cook. I was married most of my life to different women, but so I'm in there, and we missed some stuff, so I had to go to the store. I come back, of course, with the wrong squash. I got a zucchini squash, and I thought I'd seen a picture of that. She said, no, she wanted a butternut or whatever. So I had to go back and get that, and she said, "I've been waiting on it, you know." And we get back, we're in the kitchen. I go, "What about Larry?" She goes, "Oh shoot, what time is it?" You know, missed 3/4 of it. Hurry up, get on the computer.
That's all right, Fred. You were on first.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wendy was fighting with the pork loin.
What's on
Yep.
second? No, I overworked my devices and my one I had downstairs had a dead battery. I was wrestling the pork line, but anyway, Fred, what about Fred was actually looking into some GPT stuff and started out with it early. Fred, what do you think about AI? He listened to the human side of AI. He sat on the call
Oh
with
yeah,
agents
this is
today.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun to learn it. You know, it's cool. It's coming. We can't stop it.
That's right.
Yeah, well, all we have to do is go back. Well, a lot of us on this call started in this industry when we didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. Our computers were a filing cabinet. Our cell phones had 30-foot cords on them that we could walk around our offices. Yep.
Dude, I used to desk deals on a 10 key, leases, everything.
Yep. Oh yeah. I learned how to do money factors on a simple calculator. I could write a lease longhand on a piece of paper. So technology has come a long way. I did microfiche for dealer trades, going on the projector, going, okay, where is that Camaro? Where is that Jeep? And that information was 4 weeks old. So it was a nightmare. Yep. So when we look at what we're coming up to today, this is nothing. This is simple. This, as I've said many times, if I had this now, oh, I'd be in heaven. I'd be absolutely in sales heaven. And this is something that we all have to embrace, and we have to show it as being a positive. It is a true positive. It's not about recording what you're saying. It's not about checking up on what you've done. It's not about holding you accountable for anything. It's to move you forward in this business so that you can be the leaders of tomorrow. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it can be used to weaponize people too, which is not the right thing. I agree with you. It's our mindset, and yeah.
It's like my wife taking sugar away from me. She weaponizes sugar and cookies and everything else. And so I understand I gotta have it, but it's all in how you get it given to you.
I want to know, Rhonda, how full is your swear jar tonight?
You guys have been behaving very nicely, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Except that I could use the money. So anytime you want to start,
have at it.
Be my guest.
Larry's not paying you well enough. Come on, Larry, step it up.
Hey, man, I'm just showing up, smiling, and having fun with my friends. Tell me what could be better than that. I've always believed that why show up if you're not going to have fun, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yep. And for those of you who don't know that we're used to seeing each other early in the morning in several different venues. I got surgery first thing in the morning, so I'm gonna be out of pocket.
Our thoughts and prayers will be with you, my buddy.
Absolutely.
Russell, I told Russell, I told a pretty good Christmas joke last. Should I throw another one on the docket?
Yeah, do it, man.
Okay. The mailman comes to the house, and the lady of the house answers the door, and she's kind of in a negligee, so he kind of averts his gaze. She says, "No, come in." It's like, okay. She goes, "Follow me." She starts walking up the stairs. He's a little perplexed, but a beautiful woman. Okay. They go into the master bedroom. She pulls off her clothes, pulls off his clothes, and has sex with him. I mean, the guy's like, oh my God. She goes to the bureau and she hands him $1. He says, "Lady, I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, I'm grateful, but I don't know what's going on." She says, "Well, we were going over the Christmas list." And I said, "What about the mailman?" And my husband said, "Screw him, give him $1." Don't worry, they'll get filthier as we get towards Christmas. I'm Jewish. I'm not worried
50 cents, Larry. 50 cents. Come on, just cough it up.
Only
Look at
you
this,
can
I'm
get
getting
away
hit
with
with my
that.
own swear jar. I was
Oh.
actually on good behavior tonight. Hey, listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Russell, you got the power of love and prayer on this whole show. We're all
Praying for
with you.
buddy.
And
Mhm.
I
Thank you.
cannot tell you how much we appreciate you all being there. And again, you came in late, Wendy. It took John a while to get on because he didn't understand how the electricity worked, whether it was AC or DC. It's very sad with him. I'm not sure if he has a future in electric. All right, we love you. We'll see you next Wednesday. Everybody stay healthy. Russell,
Good.
you got a whole crew. Just let us know when you're feeling better, please. We don't
Yeah.
wanna
Got it.
bug
If you
you.
need anything, buddy.
Speedy recovery.
Please keep in touch, Russell.
Thank you.
Thank
Will
you.
do. Oh, you'll see
Thank
me
you,
pop
everybody.
in. You'll see me
Yeah.
pop in. Okay.
I
Oh,
mentioned
hold on.
Everybody, thank you
Hold
so
on.
much.
Hold on.
Yes,
Hold
yes,
on,
go
hold
ahead,
on,
Wendy.
hold on.
Wendy wants,
Wendy-
Wendy
hold
wants
on,
to
guys.
comment. Go ahead, Wendy.
Just want to know that I just want you to know that I know there's a bunch of stuff going on next Wednesday. I know a bunch of webinars and all that stuff, but Kaylee Filio is doing a really cool LinkedIn Live. And she asked me and Michael Johnson from Australia from Sales Log to join in. I think it's Noon Mountain, but look for her publicizing. And
Next
it should
Wednesday,
be cool. It's a holiday edition.
we're on. I
Absolutely.
love Kaylee. I
Cool.
love. You remember how much
She's-
fun we had with her in Vegas? She's a sweetheart.
She's
Okay.
amazing.
All right, and then we
Absolutely.
expect you all here Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
There's the
Okay.
ringleader.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
Bye,
all.
everybody.
Thank
night,
you all
everyone.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Everything.